Hey there, beans, people, other digital things. You're watching Help Be Mine, the station for all things self-investment stuff. This is my story. Help Be Mine is my story, and I am the writer, Dear Danny. If you haven't found out already, I chose Dear Danny because I love the combination being Dear and being Danny together. And I'm going to respond to some of the content on the page as Dear Danny, which is, just my ownership of an opinion or thought and inviting you all to listen in. Today, I want to share with you a video from Instagram from a creator called Simplifying Sam. And this video is just so dope. I'm so excited to share it with you. But before we get into that, let's get into something even doper that we are giving a special thank you to Keen, the sponsor of today's video. Thank you, Keen, for sponsoring today's video. Keen is an incredible resource that perfectly complements your self-awareness journey, a platform designed to elevate your quest for self-discovery, just like an introspective act of journaling. Through Keen, you can connect with experienced spiritual advisors, uncovering topics on love, relationships, personal growth, self-discovery, and wellness. Consider Keen.com as a conversation, the catalyst for self-awareness and experiments. Imagine approaching Keen.com with your journaling ideas, embracing the power of diverse thought, and connecting with experienced mentors who will help you uncover the hidden gems within. It's where your attentions meet a diverse world of perspective, exploring the profound questions that lead you toward a deeper understanding of yourself. You can kickstart that journey in your first 10 minutes would be just $1.99 using my link, www.king.com/helpbemind. Click, connect, and come prepared with your thoughtful questions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this video from the content creator Simplifying Sam. I'm actually going to go to Simplifying Sam's page. Her name is Samantha Chung. She's a mindset and self-love manifestation coach, I believe. And she has a video that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, now I'm going to play it.
Okay, y'all really need to understand this, but you never lose money. You only gain things of value. The only time money leaves my bank account is when I have the belief that what I'm exchanging it for is more valuable than money itself. Because do not forget, money itself has no value. It literally by itself is worthless. It represents value. So when you go to the grocery store and you buy hot dog buns and sausages and mustard and whatever the heck you buy, you don't lose $50. You gained things of value represented by $50. So can you not see from this perspective that even spending money is actually super abundant, because every time you do it, you are gaining something of value. Likewise, every time you offer something of value, that is exchanged for money. You earn money. That's so abundant. So the money circulatory wheel, the circulatory nature of money, is so abundant in and of itself. Whether you are exchanging something of value or whether you are offering money in exchange for something of value, it's all abundance. So if you only remember this for the rest of your life, it will completely transform your relationship to money and your scarcity programming. But every time you spend money, you don't lose anything. You only gain something that you perceive to be valuable.
All right, friends, I want to know in the comments, what are your raw thoughts about the video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you understand it? Did you have questions? Do you resonate with it? Let me know your raw thoughts. I have a general question I want to share with you that's inspired by this video, and I'm going to put it on the screen now. So the first question is, explore your relationship with money. So as we explore our relationship with money, here are a few different questions that we can consider. First is, how do you define financial success or security? Do you believe that having more money will lead to greater happiness and security? Why or why not? Then, are you a saver or a spender? How do your spending and saving habits align with your financial goals and value? The next one is, have you experienced a significant financial setback or hardship? How did you cope with it emotionally, mentally, or practically? How would you like your relationship with money to evolve or change in the future? What steps can you take to work toward a healthier and more positive relationship with money? All right, question 2. What are your spending habits like? Do you often find yourself spending money impulsively or mindlessly? What triggers these behaviors? All right, this is another question that you can use. What are your earliest memories or experiences related to money? How might these experiences shape your current views on money? And then I'll just throw one more question out there, and that is, how do you feel when you compare your financial situation to that of others, whether they have more or less money than you? How does comparison help your well-being? So those are a few questions I put on the screen. I'm really interested in what you all think about money, your relationship with money. She brought out a few different ideas that I actually want to explore in what we're going to call Dear Danny. So again, I want you to know this on every video that my Dear Danny segment is really my ownership of the thought. It does not mean that it is the right thought. It is something that I'm working through on this healthy mind journey, and I'm sharing it with you all. I want this to be an experience where you hear me, I hear you in the comments, or you even take your journal out and you express in that way. So one of the things that she brought out in this video was scarcity programming. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to put ChatGPT on the screen, because when I hear those two terms together, scarcity programming, I'm not even really sure what that means. I have an idea. We've been programmed to think about scarcity, but let's see what ChatGPT says. What is scarcity programming? Okay, so it says it is not a widely recognized term in the field of computer science. Okay, so as it relates to mindset. All right, now we got it. In the context of mindset, scarcity programming often refers to a psychological and behavioral phenomenon where individuals adopt a mindset of scarcity. This mindset is characterized by a belief that resources such as time, money, opportunities, or even love and support are limited and insufficient. As a result, people with a scarcity mindset tend to exhibit certain behaviors and thought patterns. So the programming, it would be the fear of lack. You've been programmed to hoard things, so hoard resources and be reluctant to share or spend them, even when it might be beneficial to do so. So that's what she was talking about in the video. Short-term thinking, scarcity mindset, individuals may focus on short-term gains and immediate needs and neglecting long-term planning and investments. That's good. Stress and anxiety, the mindset can lead to chronic stress and anxiety as individuals constantly worry about the resource scarcity. Competition, narrow perspective. So narrow perspective, it can limit creativity and problem-solving abilities, as individuals may have a narrow perspective focused solely on resource preservation. That's interesting. Okay, so now that I got my definition, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this scarcity mindset, the scarcity programming, and how we think programming has happened. These are conversations that happen a lot around certain spaces in the spiritual world or certain spaces in the mindset world where there's a belief that we're programmed to think and do the things that we do, and we're not involving ourselves to evolve ourselves in the thinking process, right? So the programming concept is you are doing the same thing every day. You don't know why you're doing it. You don't know why you think the ways that you do. You don't know why you handle things or respond the way that you do, but you're just doing it. On this channel and with this healthy mind journey of mine, I want to understand a little bit more why, because as I understand a little bit more why, maybe I could do something about it. And when it comes to this thought that she shared here, I'm really heavy on how did I get value from this? So in all things, give thanks. That's a scripture in the Bible. That's a concept that's fairly universal, to give thanks. The idea of giving thanks to the fact that you can have the money at that point, even though there's so many different narratives on why we might not have the money. There's inflation, there's these other concepts in the world, in America, that has really impacted us. But there's something very powerful about the mind and thinking creatively. And there's something powerful about the mind and thinking in a creative way that can really start to move the needle for us when we're uncomfortable with these situations, when we don't like the situation. It requires us to not only think a better way, but to actually do something differently. And going back to the thinking, it starts with the thought. This is why thought, motivation, mindset, these things are always going to be important, because it's the root of what your next steps are. But we cannot stay at the root. We cannot just have these thoughts and have these conversations, although having these conversations are powerful and they're going to allow us to be more aware, maybe shift our perspective and allow us to do things. We want to have emphasis on the do. Faith without works is dead, because the faith requires you to think. It requires you to think, but the work requires you to do something about what you think. So that's my Dear Danny. I really appreciate the video. I really like the concept of looking at things in a way where, like, hey, I didn't just spend that money. I got something for spending that money. And this right here, I'm going to make it work for me. If it's a time that's tight for you and you got all of this spending to do and you don't feel like you're getting enough, how can we change? Whether it is the perspective that we receive from that, or maybe just change our situation. We could consistently complain, or we could start making decisions to just change our world. It could take 3 months, it could take 6 months, it could take 3 years, but the planning, that's what I like in that response in ChatGPT, is that the short-term thinking. So it says scarcity mindset individuals may focus on short-term gains and immediate needs, neglecting long-term planning and investment. investments. Maybe it's a point where we have to understand that we're not planning. And planning doesn't mean that nothing else is going to happen. But when we start planning, when we have a plan, when we have a definitive purpose, then it's something that we can see, something that we can start building upon. If we just let life happen to us, it's easy for us to get swallowed up in all the things. And this, again, is just a theory. It's just my dear Danny. I'm more interested in what you write in your journal, even if you don't share with me. I'm more interested if you take that step and think about what your relationship with money is. Until next time, hold on to you as much as you can. Hold on to your health, your well-being, and your mind. Be mindful. Bye.
Choose life, choose joy, choose peace over chaos.